Shit, it's been a roller coaster.
You already did 2 big summits in Mexico. Then you opened the digital studio, and now you open this new network for queer people.
It was a failure. We actually went in a lot of debt. If you think that everything's gonna be perfect, well, you're just like lying to yourself. It's not my goal to make a lot of money. It's a result of all of the other things that I'm doing. This my thing, it's not even like that, you know? It's something that makes me really get up every day.
I wake up with anxiety.
You're so passionate about it. Of course it's gonna hurt. It is gonna happen. You're gonna lose money. That doesn't mean I'm gonna quit. That doesn't mean I'm a failure. It's not all or nothing.
Oh, that's how it's gonna be, like, since now.
It can't go wrong because that's the way it has to be. I just have this peace that I know I'm in the right place. Most valuable lesson I have learned throughout this year.
Let's go. Alex, welcome to No Limit Stories. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited. I'm really honored to be in this podcast and to be part of this No Limit story, which is going to be an amazing project.
This is Alex Dominguez, a serial entrepreneur and the visionary behind Unlock. Unlock spans 3 powerful dimensions: networking and education for women, a creative agency, and a bold platform elevating queer leaders. As his sister, I've seen him do it all. He's basically turned making impact into an art form. Today, we're diving into a real, raw, and honest conversation about what it truly takes to build something meaningful.
Me, honestly, too, and this conversation is so special because you're the first person whom I tell the whole idea about Basma 2 years ago, and that's honestly why I probably, want to have you as our guest today, because the whole journey you're going yourself through, the business you built up, it's so inspiring, so I'm sure you have a lot of things to share with our people today.
To be honest, I remember that day and I love it. I love that you went for it. I love that you built it. To be honest, I love following everything that you do and the amazing work you've done. And it's just an honor to be a part of that story.
The reason I'm also so excited to have you today, because honestly, your journey is so special. It was just 3 years and you've built this multi-brand Unlock, which is first the summit for women who want to be in the entrepreneurship. You already did 2 big summits in Mexico. Then you opened the digital studio, and now you open this new network for queer people, queer leaders in Barcelona. So all in 3 years, starting as a freelance designer, right?
I did.
How does it make you feel?
It's surreal. It's to be honest, I think when you're building something and when you have this business, especially when it's you said, a multi-brand, that we have so many things going on, you're always busy. You're always doing new things. You're always trying new things. And it can, sometimes if you don't take a moment to stop and see what you're building, you don't even see the impact that it's having, But when I do take those moments and I see what we're building and I see what we are doing and I see how people take it, it's just super rewarding. It's something that makes me really get up every day and wanting to give it my best, because all of the things that I'm doing are really connecting to my purpose in life, which is to spread as much, love, as much kindness, because I think that's the way that I can help.
Oh, that's definitely, and you said right, it's so important to really sit down and understand the impact you're doing and the change you're doing, not just for others, but also for yourself. I think also, if other people would look at your journey, specifically young founders and creators who are just starting, they would say, wow, he's so successful right now. Do you feel this success, and have you always felt it?
I can say today that I do feel successful, but because I changed my narrative on what success is, for a really long time. And this actually happened a lot when we did our first summit. So I started Unlock with my sister. This was almost 4 years ago. And we were sitting on her kitchen, and she has been working with women for 10 years. And we were just seeing these realities of women in Mexico who were maybe not financially independent, who were in some situations that were a little bit of violence, psychological, and worse cases. And we really, we were mad about it, and we were complaining a lot about it. So it came to a point where we're okay, we have to stop complaining and what could we do about it? Like how can we help these women? And yeah, that's how Unlock was born. And then after we launched it, everything was going okay. I mean, it was super overwhelming. We planned a summit, which if you've ever planned a summit, it's harder than it looks. But we made it. 400 women came. Everyone was super, super happy. Everyone loved the event, but we didn't make any money. We actually went in a lot of debt. And that took us to, like, both my sister and I, we went into a really bad depression because we had like all of these hopes, because we were like, this was a failure, like we didn't see the 400 women. We didn't see the impact that we made on these people. We didn't see that two of us, along with like our team, but it was mostly two of us, put together something big, but we couldn't see that because in our mind, the success was making a lot of money, and we didn't. So obviously we weren't successful. And that continued for a long time, because I think it's like when you're in marketing and when you're an entrepreneur and when you're like this and you go on social media, everyone's saying like, oh yeah, I'm making 10,000 euros a month. And if you come with me in 3 months, you're going to make it. And you're like sitting here working your ass off. And it's like, I'm not making 10,000 euros a month, so I must be a failure, So it was all of those stories, not only like from the outside, but from the inside, from what I thought success was. But I can say that today I do feel that it's successful. And why? Because we just started hiring people, and our designer in Mexico from the Unlock Digital Agency, we were having a conversation, and she told me, when we started 2024, I manifested this job. And I never thought I could find work in a company that would really connect with me in such a deep level, that would make me feel seen, that would make me feel heard, that I could see myself as part of like something bigger and not just as another number. So that for me is success, that, and all of the people that look for us for inspiration. And also, yeah, like saying it's been 3 years and it's starting to pick up and it's starting to do all of this. And mostly, I am super happy when I'm working on this. I don't see it. It is stressful. It is overwhelming. It is tiring. But I just have this like peace that I know I'm in the right place. So that for me is success right now. So I would say I feel like a successful entrepreneur.
Wow, what a beautiful answer. And I think like what you shared right now, it's relevant to so many other young founders and creators, because we have this like social norms and the frames of how success is supposed to look like. So I really love the idea of kind of like redefining success for ourselves. And first, when you go out there, when you start building something, asking yourself, what is success going to look like for me? Specifically, the first steps, because when you just start saying, okay, what things I'm going to compromise on probably, but what is going to be success for me look like? Is it transformation for people who are in? Or maybe at first it's also going to be money, right? It's really about saying what is success for you. And I'm really curious, like, what was this moment when you changed narratives for yourself? Because you said that, well, we felt like it was a huge failure, nothing worked out. What changed in your mind?
It was our other partner now. It started with me and my sister, and now we have Carla. She went to the event. She was kind of involved, but not really. She was kind of seeing what we were building. And yeah, when the time was coming where we had to start talking about the second summit, she came to us and she was like, okay, should we do the second summit? And we were like, obviously we were scared. We were still paying the debt. We still were not in a place where we could do it. We had gone through a really bad depression, so it was scary. And she came and she was like, no, let's do it. And I think having her with that energy, with that, I don't know, trusting so much in the project, and without all the fear that my sister and I had, which was obviously something real and it was something understandable, but having someone believe in your project so much and making that their own and believing that you had something so good, I think that was for us saying like, okay, let's continue going. But I think at the moment that I redefined success, I think it wasn't that long ago. it's when I started, like what you said, I started asking myself, what does success look for me? Because I had never asked myself that question. I just assumed that success looked like money or fame or followers or this or that. And since I had none of them, how was I going to be successful? And I sat down, and that's when I realized, like, my success is my peace. My success is the impact that I'm doing. My success is that even if it's not going as fast as I want or I think I want, it is growing. It's going in the right direction. People are connecting with it. So yeah, I think that's when I really redefine success.
So interesting. And I think that's, like coming back to yourself and whatever you create content, you start building business, it's not only about the success, right? Because I have like our members coming to us like asking, okay, so what should be my content strategy, like, or what should be the model of business? And I always tell them, okay, so the first thing you gotta start with is not to think, okay, so what is the content strategy or what is the business model, but what is my kind of like big personal vision, how I want to live my life, because that's how you're actually gonna like adjust your business and make it sustainable for yourself, to actually like recognize those things. Also who you are as a person, what parts of yourself you want to share like in the business and the content, whatever you create, and then how you will estimate all those things. And that's the moment, only then you go and you build a strategy, only then you go and build the business model. Because I see so many people who would just like build like very, very strategical, very good things as well, and then they would start making money, and in 2 years they would say, well, I don't feel happy anymore because it's not sustainable for me, it doesn't fulfill my life, it doesn't fulfill who I am as well.
And what you were talking about, I find it like really important, because I have some friends that have come to me in the last few weeks and asked me like, I want to become an entrepreneur, but like, what is it like, And I think it's super important. Yes, the passion. Yes, that you go for something that really moves you other than money. Because if money is the goal, then you're already lost, because who knows like how much is going to be enough, But if you have another passion, if you have another like drive, that's going to be easier for you to build a sustainable, I don't know, like project. And I think what most people don't say or don't want to share, it's like, it's a hard road. O sea, it's like, shit. It's been a roller coaster. It's been a lot of anxiety, a lot of worries, a lot of like, especially around money, like you have like, because money is important. I love money. O sea, I want to make a lot of money, but and now I'm seeing it, that it is being a result of all of the things I'm doing. It's not the goal. It's not my goal to make a lot of money. It's a result of all of the other things that I'm doing. So that makes it way more sustainable. But it is true. Like, if you want to build something that makes you money in 3 months, don't do it. Like, because that's not what entrepreneurship is about. You're gonna, like, we've been building this for almost 4 years, and it's just starting to be profitable. And that's like, and I'm saying this knowing my part as coming from sort of privilege, that I did have my family support when I couldn't, like, that when I wasn't making that much money, that I had other clients, because I was also a freelancer. So I had other clients working while I was building my business. So it's also good to have like other things while you're building it. And you have to ask yourself like this question: what would I do for seriously 3 years without getting paid? And I would love doing that. That's it. Because I mean, I hope, and I'm sure many other people who are more, I don't know, they have other skills that I don't have, or are better at business, they might make money after 2, 3, 4, 5 months. But I'm talking about people that I know who have built something big, and they had to have that resilience. And this is the game for the rest of your life. Also, enjoy it. It's not, there's not an end goal. There's not a place where you're gonna get, because trust me, even if you get there, it's not gonna be like the satisfaction that you want it to be. Like, the goal itself is not the satisfaction. So we might as well make the ride and the journey enjoyable.
100%. And I really love what you're saying about the realistic journey, and knowing that it's actually really, really hard process, because I think that the moment we start notice certain creators, founders, the project is the moment when they are already uprising, they're already having some success, revenue, name, and even right now we have an interviews at the moment when you already build the things. But you said it was 3 or 4 years of the hard work when sometimes you would not even get the profit, you got like into the minus with the project. So and I really love that recently you started sharing more insights on your social media and specifically talking about this bamboo analogy around the business. Could you just tell a bit more about that?
Of course, I love this analogy. We all know a bamboo plant that takes so many years growing really strong roots. And if you judge it by what you see coming out of the, I don't know, out of the ground, you would say like, this is not working. This is not growing. Like I made a mistake planting a bamboo. Like why am I not seeing anything? And then one day after certain amount of time, like a long time, it grows like 5 feet in, I think it's a week or something like that. But the only way that it can grow that fast and sustain itself is because it already has the strong roots. So that is entrepreneurship in my experience. It's like we've been building so many roots. O sea, we've been really resilient. We were making the connections. We were testing and seeing what worked and what didn't. And now that it's growing, it is making it easier. Because if we were growing at the pace that we are right now 3 years ago, I don't know if we would have done it. I don't know if we would have done it with the professionality, with the, I don't know, the quality that it deserved. So see yourself and your entrepreneurship as that bamboo plant. It's like you have to let the roots grow for you to be able to build something strong and sustainable.
That's totally true. And like, well, basically when you're starting right now, it just comes to the idea that you have to have this strong belief in what you're building, knowing that, okay, I'm going to like go through these 3 years and I'm going to reach this point as well. But also, let's be honest, let's be real, because I'm on this journey as well right now, and you have day-to-day things, you have day-to-day challenges. And what actually kept you going through all the fears, through all the uncertainties, through losing money, having no control?
I would say my surroundings, my family, they've always been super supportive. Like seriously, my mom, my dad, I did it with my sister, and that moral support was always super important. The support of people who believed in the project, who were telling you like, because that happens to me a lot. Like when you're so much in the project and you're like in the everyday, you don't see the impact and the value. And when you get people coming to you and saying like, oh my God, I can't believe you're building this and I want to be a part of this, and you're like, what, this my thing? Like it's not even like that, like you kind of downgrade it. And I think that's the most important thing, the people and your inner, like your self-care tools, if you want to say it like that. I've gone through many things. I go to therapy every week. I do many like different therapies, like, I don't know, like all kinds of spiritual chakra alignment, like all of that. And I like to like test new things, go to courses, take courses like in mindfulness and all of that, meditation. Here in Barcelona, there's like this show up where it's actually where we met. And those kind of practices of meditating in the morning, watching the sunrise, doing something that's uncomfortable, like going into the super cold ocean and then just starting your day. And those kind of practices really help me, because it is hard. Like you can get a lot in your head. And it's like you have to be checking in with yourself. So obviously your surroundings, your self-knowledge, like how much you know yourself, and knowing what are you going to do when things go bad, and what are you going to do when that deal falls apart, because it's going to happen. It is going to happen. You're going to lose money. You're not going to get it at the first time. So how are you going to make sure that you're going to show up for yourself in a way that it keeps you going?
That's really interesting. Like, so you kind of having these two cores. One core is basically your inner core, like, right, how you see yourself, how you support yourself, how you care about your body, right? That's so important. I think most of the entrepreneurs like just think, okay, that's something I'm going to do like when I'm going to become successful, but you won't become successful if you just don't care about your body. And then the other core is the people around you, your surroundings, which is super, super important. But I would love to come back to something you said just now is you have to prepare yourself already for what's going to happen when you will fail, when things going to go wrong. And like, how do you see this happen? Because like we're starting right now, like so excited. Oh my God, I'm going to build this thing. It's going to change so many lives. How could I even possibly think that something could go wrong? Like, isn't that something that kind of kills your motivation?
No, I think it does the opposite, and I love that question because if you think that everything's gonna be perfect, well, you're just like lying to yourself because not everything depends on you. You're working with people, you're working with an environment, you're working with so many things that you don't have the control over, and you cannot like really plan for everything. So I think if you actually be realistic, and I'm not saying pessimistic like because it can go the other way, like none of the extremes are good. It's not going to be like being scared all the time that when is this going to fail, like when am I going to go bankrupt. No, you cannot start with that energy. But if you start also with the energy like the ego saying like, no, I'm super good, I already planned everything, I'm going to be the best, blah blah, yeah, it works. But why not prepare? Like the smart people prepare for every scenario. Why? Because you're gonna have the tools. You're gonna be able to really navigate that in a way that's gonna contribute to your success. And it's just being real. Like not everything, because it doesn't even mean that it has to go wrong. It's just like in the case of the summit, it wasn't bad, like apart from the money, but I didn't see it as a success because it didn't go exactly as I planned. Now that I let go of expectations, everything goes exactly how it should go. And I see like, okay, what's my learning from here? It's not a failure. It's a learning. It's a lesson that is being learned. And I mean, I can tell you about like what's going on like at this moment. I'm 1 week away from moving back to Mexico, and I've been in Barcelona for 7 years. This is a place that I love, that I got to learn a lot about myself, got to meet so many people. I was here when I started with Unlock, but obviously the past 4 years I was investing my time, energy, money in many things, and now. And I think this is something that many people don't say because the same. If I say right now that I don't have money, it's like, how can you be talking to me about like successful entrepreneurship and everything if you don't have money? But it's like, it's not that. It's like, I had to make a decision because if I want for me, the importance of being calm and having peace means that right now I have to go back to Mexico. I have to go back to Mexico and maybe take a step back, get my situation in order, and then come back. And that doesn't mean I'm a failure. That just means that I'm making smart decisions. If I stayed here, I would just keep worrying and I would just keep chasing the next big thing. But what if I just go back? And what if I take the step back just to see everything in a different way? And that has taught me so much of like, I'm super at peace right now. I know I'm excited about what's coming. I haven't lived in Mexico in 14 years.
Wow.
And I see it as an opportunity for a new chapter, for new adventures, for new everything. Like it can't go wrong because that's the way it has to be. And that is the importance of working on yourself and having that peace within you that no matter what life throws at you, you have yourself and it's going to be okay.
I love that for you. And like you framed it so right for me because literally it's not about thinking, okay, so I'm going to fail and that's what happened, but it's just being prepared and having this peace, having this core. And honestly, like me personally, I'm going through the same thing right now because I believe the last year when I was just kind of starting out the membership, I had this idea of the going all in, which I still believe in. I'm still going all in, and right now I'm building an app and I'm doing a bunch of crazy things every day. But the last year, at the same time, I was building two businesses. I was growing the personal branding agency, which was like working good. I was growing the Basma, and it just was so stressful for me because I didn't have any stability. I had to put some resources in both of those projects. Like I had to pay for rent as well because I'm living in Barcelona by myself. I don't have the family here who would support me. And I just remember that last year, every day I would wake up with an anxiety because I just had so many uncertainties. Yes. And this year, when I was just starting out, I was asking myself, okay, am I actually living my dreams? Am I actually aligned with myself? Because everyone around would say to me, okay, so you're so good in marketing and branding, like that's the next step for you is to start building an agency. I was like, yes, probably I'll do that, but that's not my dream. And I would just spend the whole year trying to kind of go all in, prove to everyone, okay, I just can do it all myself. And this year, I actually started a part-time job as well in a credible startup as well. At the same time, I'm building the Basma as well, which is like actually gives me even more time to put into there, which gives me more resources, more peace. And every day right now, I wake up like knowing that things are going to be great. I'm able to record this podcast like in a great settings, and that's I think what is more important. It's really not about like cutting kind of like all the options, going without like plan B or whatever, but then knowing, okay, what's important for you to succeed? For me, it's peace. For me, it's confidence, and kind of giving this space for yourself and going for that, and at the same time going all in, but knowing that you have this pace and you have this like kind of ground as well.
Of course. And I think we should stop saying like, go in and don't have a plan B. That's just not smart. And if you have to take a part-time job, take that part-time job. If you need to, I don't know, like maybe instead of doing 100%, doing a 50%, do it. No one's rushing you. Like life is so long. Life is like, and goals are, there's no limit. There's no like one goal that you're going to reach and it's the end. No, it's like there should always be something else. You should adapt. If you learn how to adapt, you are going to succeed. Because, and also you're going to succeed when you redefine what it means success for you. When you're an entrepreneur or when you're a leader or you're like something, I don't know, like in a role, you think you have to do it all by yourself. You think you have to make no mistakes, and you have to show up for everyone and you have to be strong for everyone. And it's like, but who shows up for you? And first of all, you have to show up for you. Yeah. And second of all, you have to have Alessia in your life that I can come to you and say like, listen, yeah, it's going good, but I'm overwhelmed. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I'm not so motivated right now. That doesn't mean I'm going to quit. That doesn't mean I'm a failure. That doesn't mean that I'm being lazy or whatever. It's just, I'm a human being. Also, this thing of hustle every day and show up with the same energy. No one does that. Maybe Tony Robbins, I don't know, he's a special kind of human. But us mortals, we don't have the energy all the time. We don't have and we suffer because like when we start our projects and we're entrepreneurs, there's a lot of heart in it. And if something goes wrong, it feels like it is kind of heartbreaking when something's not going your way. It is a big deal because you've put so much effort and we're so passionate about it. Of course it's going to hurt if it doesn't go well. Of course it's going to hurt that it's taking a long time. And it's okay. You can say it's hurting. You can say it's not being, and also it's like, you can say it's not being what you thought it was. And it's okay. And if you find out that it's not that way, you can always turn another way. It's not all or nothing. It's about adapting and doing what is right for you. But it's also hard work. So decide where you want to put that hard work, because you're going to have to work a lot. And you're going to have to do things that you don't love because it's not all magical. And it's not like because you live of your passion, it's all roses and everything. No, it's going to be hard, not all the time. But you have to think, okay, why do I want to do, even if it's hard and even if it costs me and even if I suffer,
100%. And everything you just said right now, that's actually what is no limits for me. It's not, like about throwing like everything around you. It's actually about questioning things, questioning norms, not believing that, okay, that's how entrepreneur is supposed to look like. That's how I'm supposed to show up for myself, for the business. That's what is success for me. It's actually defining yourself, what it means for you, questioning things, because I think that's also how you become successful. When you question things, say, no, that's how it's going to be, like since now. And yeah, going all in, but in your terms. So I think I have the last question for you, like kind of this little touch. So as someone who already spent 3-4 years in this entrepreneurial rough journey, went through a lot of things, still actually achieved success in the way you see that, growing crazy right now, what would you say to all these young founders and creators who are watching us right now, who are starting their thing, who are believing in that? What would you say to them?
I would say be kind to yourself, be really clear, watch who you are surrounding yourself with, because that's really, really important. And just don't put so much pressure on yourself. I mean, you have to be responsible. You have to show up. You have to be consistent, because without that, you're just kidding yourself. But also, you have time. And nothing is the end. Nothing is that important. You're not, if it doesn't work, it doesn't mean that you don't work, you know? And I think the most valuable lesson I have learned throughout these years of like being an entrepreneur, is disconnect your self-worth from your business. So if your business fails, it doesn't mean that you fail. If your business goes wrong, it doesn't mean that you're wrong. If your business is successful, I mean, it doesn't mean that you as a person are successful because of that. You should be successful on your own because of other things. So don't believe that if something goes wrong, it's because there's something wrong with you. Disconnect from that totally. And go for it. Go for it, knowing everything that is around it. The good, the bad, the amazing, the super fun, and the overwhelming.
Well, thank you for this conversation, Alex. It was really beautiful.
Thank you so much. I'm super excited about this project. I'm really grateful to have been the part of this. And yeah, I can't wait to hear all of the other stories.